It's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man. Charge your housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in. It's time for Common Man.
Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
We'll head to Buffalo, play on the road. I think the weather, of course, having spent a lot of time in Minnesota, I understand the weather pattern. Pick up the Calcutta Clipper, swings down, swings up, lakefront influence, and out. I think we'll probably have about 45-degree weather, so it will not be a typical October 31st in Buffalo.
You know, sometimes when you practice, you'll set up chairs. You know, and you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs.
Purple Pride, Purple Pride.
Well, I read the USA Today and I read the New York Times, and I read those both every day. And I listen to music. I wouldn't really. I mean, it wouldn't do me any good to listen to talk shows, because what's great about America, everybody has an opinion. You know what I mean? But what's also great about America, you don't have to listen to them, and that's the great part.
San Diego, Chargers, San Diego, Superchargers, San Diego, Superchargers, San Diego, Superchargers. Now what do you think? What do you think of that? Now what do you think? 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 What do you think of that?
This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl.
You're breaking up, Bob.
You're breaking up.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
I finally figured it out. We have two Deuce Doke's on Common Man page 2. And the one that I accidentally dragged over is the wah, wah, wah. Because I don't have that anywhere on here. In fact, I have 3 Deuce Doke's on this. Why? Yeah, that's what I would say. There's 3 of them on here. 2 in column. You know, yeah, there's 3 of them. Let's see if they're all the same. They're all the same. They're. It's not like he did different versions of them. Could you do it a little bit more emotion? Could you do one a little bit more comical? They're all the same, and that's what they are. Hey, greetings, good afternoon, and you and yours. I'm Comedy's 10 B, blah, blah, blah. Truncated version, coach's show. The head coach of the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings supposed to have his weekly. This really isn't his. This is sort of a combination of his day after the game news conference, 2 days after the game, and his middle of the week news conference the day before the middle of the week, though it really kind of is the middle of the week because the game's on a Thursday. I hope that makes sense to you. See, on a normal week when they have a Sunday game, he would have spoke yesterday and then tomorrow, and now because they're playing Thursday, it's a truncated week for the team, as well as it's a truncated a show for Common and 10 to be today. So he's expected today at 1:15. We're going to take our break like we normally do. If we come back and he's not there, that's just the way. We're not going to tap dance and worry about it, because really at this stage of the season, 10 to be, would you agree with this? This is what I think. I'm going to make what I feel is at the crux of what fans want to know. The only thing they really want to know is JJ starting this week or not. After that, what else is there to know?
There's nothing else to talk about.
There's nothing else to know.
Or nothing of importance.
Terrible team, terrible city. Yeah, so just is he playing or is he not? We'll find out. Hopefully we'll find that out at 1:15. And if he says it on air, great. And if we just relay the message to you, we'll do that as well. I did see where Kevin Seifert, and I'm sure you saw this as well, Teneby, he tweeted this: no Vikings players were named to the Pro Bowl today.
You've got to be kidding me.
Not a shock, given injury/record, but still an exclamation point for a team that spent nearly $350 million assembling its roster. Well, that's a little negative. I mean, Seifert with a wet blanket Wednesday on a, what did we call, what did that guy call Monday again yesterday? Mood killer Monday? What can we have for Tuesday? We got a wet blanket Wednesday, a mood killer Monday. Someone will come up with it for us, either a senior staff writer, junior staff writer, or a contributor. Third time in club history without a Pro Bowl player named to the initial roster. Most recent, 2014. The other time was 1983.
That wasn't a good year.
That was not a good year.
No. You don't want to be in the same category as the 1983 Vikings.
No, that's for sure. So, and again, Pro Bowlers just not a roster make, but they sure are nice. And Seifert is, I think, spot on. There were a number of injuries, and the record's not very good. And if you look at any player, Tenemy, I don't look at a player that I go, I think he kind of got the shaft. I think he should have been on that team. It's just an outrage. How does he not make the team? Because you'll oftentimes have that happen, where you look at a guy on your team and you go, how didn't he make it? He certainly deserves some consideration, but there's nobody I can think of, unless you can, that really had a standout year.
Well, even before the year, we were even talking about who are the superstars on this team, right? Justin Jefferson on offense.
Yeah. And then there's Justin Jefferson on offense.
Then after that,
Justin Jefferson.
That's about it.
Jets. He did it too. He did like, and I know I do I refer to myself in the third person. And people think it's because I have an out of control ego, which I do. The only thing bigger than my ego is my prostate, but I just do it because Herschel Walker did it. And I just think it's funny when people talk in third person. Well, Common thinks this and Common thinks that. I just love it. It's the height of ego, right? But Jets kind of did it where he said, I was more Jets-like there. He was kind of doing third-person talk. I saw a quote, Jets is back, sort of like 9. Do you still think 9 plus 18 equals 6? Or is that not really? You know what? You'll get an F in math if you come up with that answer. You flunk.
What, have they thrown 2 touchdown passes to JJ this year?
Yeah, that shirt had a short shelf life. Well, it did. It flew off the shelves at the fair. And now people are going, well, the quality isn't that. I could probably just wash my car with this thing now. How many of those 9 plus 18 equals 6 T-shirts are being worn, and how many are being used as dust cloths? What do you think? I'm sorry. I can't help it. So, yeah, that's what we're going to find out, is if you'll I'm getting all sorts of ideas for Tuesday. Someone said the kicker makes the Pro Bowl. Did he?
Not yet.
Oh, someone says they think he will make the Pro Bowl. I guess that's possible.
He's got a good shot.
Tear it down Tuesday. I kind of like that. Just tear it down. Tumultuous Tuesdays.
The Twins have taken that approach.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
Well, regardless of what day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tumultuous Tuesday's got a nice alliteration, but that's really not anything about, being negative, right? Tumultuous just means there's a lot of tumult happened. So like I said, I'm getting a lot of suggestions, not all of them, like Tragic Tuesday, Tearful Tuesday, Tell It Like It Is Tuesday. Of course, when I tell it like it is, it's not necessarily that's what it is. Tell It to a Straight Tuesday. There's one I can't say on the radio. But yeah, there's a number of ideas. We'll come up with one. But regardless, you know me, I'll find a way to wet blanket and kill the mood if I possibly. You know what I was going to start with? Well, Vancouver's 5-0, but they're not. They lost last night. Why would they trade one of the best defensemen in hockey for 3 guys that are okay? Yeah, it goes to show you we got a great general manager.
I always love that one.
I just like poking. You got a little. You right away jumped to Guerin in the Wild's defense and basically said, "What are you talking about, Common? It's a great trade." And good for you. Pushback is good. We don't always have to agree.
Some hosts don't like when their producers disagree with them.
That's exactly what. Well, some people will say too that
gets them angry.
I always disagree with you. Well, I don't. It's like I said yesterday. Sometimes I just like to debate. I just like taking the other side of the argument. I told you one of my 5 different job descriptions on I used to be on the Vikings pregame show. I had 5 different jobs. One of them was back when Chadley worked here. Chad Hartman. I've told this story before. We had the point counterpoint, right? Where, like for instance, we would do you think the Vikings should move on from J.J. McCarthy? And then Chad would take one side of the argument, I would take the other. And Chad would come to me, he'd come up with an idea every week. And he goes, so what do you think? I go, I don't know, you just take one side, I'll take the other. I don't care enough. And I can make...
I always love that one.
You can make hopefully a fairly cogent argument, especially when it comes to sports. It's you can pretty much make I could debate. I was reading a couple of stories this morning on the college football landscape and what the people are wondering about. We had 2 blowouts. There's Power 4, and what's the other thing called? Something or else 5. They have the add-along. I don't know what they call it. It's in a story here. And I can pull it up right here. I don't want to dive too deep into this right now. Group of 5, it's called. And what it's a CBS Sports story by Will Backus. He does nice work. It says Group of 5 schools belong in the college football playoff, but a modern Cinderella is unlikely. We saw 2 of those. Dang it. 2 of those Group of 5 schools, James Madison and Tulane, and they just got dropped. One of the games looked better. The game against Oregon, the score got close late. I think Oregon was just kind of going through the motions at that point. But, college football, if you read these 2 stories, there was 2 stories I stumbled upon. One would basically make you think it's the end of the world as we know it in college football. And I tend to think maybe that's a little closer to the truth than not. This one wasn't as bad, but, we're just talking about how, like, let's say, it had an example. Who's the kid's name? See if I find his name here real quick. Otherwise, I'll get back. Oh, here it is. Take North Texas quarterback Drew Mestamaker, for example. He led the FBS with 4,129 yards passing and tied for second nationally with 31 touchdowns. If he did that at a Power 4 program, he would have won the Heisman Trophy. He's expected to enter the transfer portal and leave North Texas and go to one of the Power 4 schools, right? So the transfer portal and Nillis, if it is just a minor leagues, there's only going to be, it's even going to, you thought there were just a handful of helmet schools in the past. It's even getting worse now, except if you find the guy, they call them angels in the boxing business, and I think they call them that in a lot of different walks of life. Somebody with boatloads of money that he loves Tennessee U. You got a university called Tennessee U. Tennessee me. Tennessee 3. Tennessee U, if you find somebody that loves your university and then you have a chance to compete. Otherwise, you're just doomed. So, I can make an argument either for us, what I'm trying to say. We'll take a break. We'll come back.
By the way, we have J.J. McCarthy news on the other side of the break.
We'll do that next. Common Man program on the Fan.
We all had one teacher that believed in us. Show your gratitude with Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominated public school teacher to win $5,000 for their classroom. Go to iHeartRadio.com/teachers today.
Why didn't think the last segment was London Broil. I mean, it wasn't anything special. Well, okay, maybe London Broil. Maybe it wasn't even London Broil. So, yeah, can you please talk about what made comments so frustrated last segment? A twisted cord, lost an email he printed. Listening audience deserves to know after being subjected to this London Broil. Signed Spit the Hook guy. Wasn't that, but if you think that was bad, just wait till you get a load of tomorrow's show. Blakemore and I with nothing to talk about. Christmas Eve. You'll want to talk Green Bay. I want to throw up. You know, it's like we.
Oh, you have the Wild and Wolves game to break down from tonight. It'll be one day before
What?
Purple Detroit NFC North Division collision.
Wild and Wolves breakdown?
Yeah.
I like Tear It Down Tuesdays.
It's pretty good.
Speaking of tearing it down, let's break it down. The head coach of the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell, with his weekly news conference.
Hopefully you guys find some time to celebrate with your loved ones this week. I know, we've got a lot of work to do leading into Thursday, but very much looking forward to it myself. Looking back to Sunday, just thought it was, although different from a standpoint of maybe how we won the football game and the aesthetics of what it looked like, I think this team has learned how to win a variety of different games, depending on the elements, depending on injuries, depending on any potential obstacles. We're going to try to find a way to win a football game by any means necessary. Every 60 minutes that we do get, it was our kicking game with Will again and some tough elements being 3 for 3. And obviously our defense being massive for us with their performance on Sunday, and we did enough offensively with some adversity that kind of hit along the way to win the football game. Short week, not necessarily looking at it as short week, more so a fast opportunity that will be here before we know it, and our team is really excited to be back home. Playing on Thursday, playing in a game a lot of folks will be watching. It's a chance for us to continue to put on display the growth of this team, the mindset of this team, despite circumstances. These guys want to win every football game we got left, and it's going to be a really a massive challenge. Dan's going to have his team ready to go. It's going to be physical. It's going to be 60 minutes of NFC North football, and this game means a lot to us, and we're putting everything we've got into it. Knowing we get a chance to play in front of our great fans again at US Bank Stadium here to close the season a couple times. To give you guys an update, J.J. McCarthy, we did continue to get further imaging beyond the initial X-ray and beyond even the initial MRI. Got some further imaging, and it was discovered he does have a very, very small hairline fracture that was discovered in his hand. We are not expecting to have him this week. I do not think this is anything that will require surgery. Similar kind of recovery is kind of similar to a bone bruise. But obviously there is a small hairline fracture in there, and we'll keep you guys posted about his availability next week. Said it after the game. Been really, really happy and proud of the way JJ through the kind of final stanza of the season here has really, really took some big steps and grown, and it's been a blast, being with him every day and kind of being along that ride with him, although we've lost time to continue that throughout the season, and we're experiencing it again here on a fast opportunity type short week. That doesn't take away from the growth we've seen from JJ. So he's dialed in. He's out. He was out here for the walkthroughs, being a part of things, and wants to stay 100% locked and loaded in the hopes of returning next week, hopefully. But obviously, we're going to be smart with him and see where it takes us. Outside of that, I'll open it up to you guys.
Is wearing women's underwear part of your training?
Ryan Kelly. Yeah, Ryan Kelly more than likely will be out this week. He's doing well as far as where his symptoms and things are at. Obviously disappointed that it happened, and just going back and taking a look at not only the play but the sequences during the play, after the play, if there was anything we could have avoided in there, but no, just part of the game, and Ryan knows that. Just so much respect for Ryan as a player, and just the way he, obviously took the amount of time he did and was fighting to get back on the field and felt ready to go, and we were kind of holding him back a little bit beyond that. And then when he returned to the field, just the impact he's had on our offense over these last few games have been massive. So we need Jergs to step up and play a huge role for us. And I know Ryan's gonna do everything he can to help Jergs get ready to go.
You leave the door.
In all likelihood, I think we're gonna, we'll have some discussions. It's obviously a short week, and in regards to the roster management discussions and things like that, that I leave that to the personnel department. But Ryan and I will continue to have dialogue. The most important thing for me has been making sure that just he spends the majority of his time, with the medical folks and making sure he's in a good place.
Were you guys able to pinpoint when the hand injury happened for JJ?
Say that one more time.
You guys able to pinpoint when the hand injury happened?
I know there's been, we checked the video, thoroughly, like I know many of you folks did as well. And there's obviously some potential candidates of plays that happened, but he's not entirely sure exactly when it was. And then ultimately, kind of felt it for real on that, on his last play of the day.
He said he did feel it on that play.
And just the fact that he could not grip the ball. Yeah, I think the first time, he really felt it was when after that play, I think they evaluated him. I was right there on the sideline, and he had his first real pain. He said he felt when they were checking certain spots of his hand.
Just in terms of next week and his availability, what does that depend on?
Purely just with this injury and really what it is and everything. It's one of those things. It's just about his grip strength and his ability to grip the football and throw the ball. See where he's at.
What about Jordan Mason and how he's doing?
Yeah, he's still feeling it. He's still feeling it, and obviously with the short week, he's going to do everything he can to maybe try to give it a go, and don't want to, rule him out by any stretch yet. Give him the ample time to try to see if he can get there. But we are. We do have options from a standpoint of if he can't go. Ty Chandler is still in his window and could be a possibility to come up to the roster. We've kind of had some roster spots for a couple weeks now. We got Dwight McLaughlin back on the roster last week. It's given us some opportunities, maybe elevate some guys up from the practice squad and/or potentially have Ty available to step in with Aaron and Zay.
This week.
Yeah, he's, obviously came out of the game sore. He did everything he could to get to the game, and what an unbelievable display of leadership and just how much all of this matters to him and how much his teammates matter to him. The fact that he was able to get there and give it a go. So obviously, shorter week this week, so we'll see where he's at. We're going to try to kind of go through a similar process, a little bit expedited timeline, and see if he can possibly get there. But, I know if there's a chance he can go, 75 is going to be out there.
JJ, when you went back and looked at the entire game, did you see anything prior to that very last play that indicated any kind of issue he was having?
No. Obviously before that last drive, he had the scramble for the touchdown where he, I said it after the game, I didn't have a great angle on the actual crossing of the front line, and I didn't know if maybe he took a pretty good shot there, but he was able to avoid that, get in the end zone, and then I think he got up, gave a pretty significant high five to Jets, and then got into his celebration. So nothing there. I even think I gave him a high five running off the field because I thought it was a massive play in the game. Another great example of him using that athleticism on a weighty down to kind of make it right for us. So no, I had not. There was no feeling there. I used the timeout with the defensive stop because I knew the Giants were getting the ball and wanted to be aggressive. And then, as that next series kind of started, we started off with a run, and then there was a little bit of trying to communicate via, him being in the middle of the field is not always easy to do. Tried to call a simple, safe play that we had some execution on. In the game to Jets, just a simple receiver screen, and he was unable to dish that ball out there by not having a grip.
Just when you think you've heard it all, It's not a short week, Tennessee. It's a fast opportunity.
It is.
It's like he's lost it. I mean, that was his football. It almost as if he's trying to convince himself that the team really wants to play this week. I guarantee you, if you asked every player, your option, play the last 2 weeks or just call it a season, everyone would say, maybe Brosmer would say, no, it's my chance. Every other guy would say, and this isn't just the Vikings, it's any team that's out of it. They would just say, yeah, I'm beat up, I'm tired, they're meaningless games, let's just go home. And he's trying to make it seem like this team is going to come out of that locker room. Let's go get them and show what Vikings football is all about.
That was like something PJ Fleck would make up. I thought it was PJ Fleck.
Somebody sent that.
Yeah.
Somebody said, that's it. He's past PJ. He's managed to take a short work week from us and turn it into corporate mumbo jumbo. It's just...
By the way, before we get to spread swing, we do have a short break. It's not a short break. It's a fast opportunity.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So we'll do that coming up. Other side of the break is spread swing here on the Fan.
Wolves fans, get ready. Join us for Michelob Ultra Wolves watch party at Casper's in Eagan on December 29th. Come hang with KFAN's own Max Fuller from 7 to 9 p.m. and play halftime trivia to win awesome prizes. Plus, enjoy food and drink specials while you cheer on the Wolves. Don't miss out. Get all the details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Common tend to be the legendary one. Mark Rosen joins us. Deuce will be with us momentarily for Spread Swing. I made a bold and very controversial statement. I said, if you asked every member of the Vikings, off the record,
right,
any team that's playing in a meaningless football game for the rest of the year, if you just said, would you like to go out there the next 2 Sundays, or would you rather just call it quits? I guarantee you 52 out of 53 would say, I'd rather call it quits. Someone sends me a text that says, when you suck at golf, you still want to go out and play. Don't be a hypocrite. There's so many things wrong. Now, first of all, it was about 6-7 weeks ago. Ask Brett Blakemore. He'll be with me tomorrow. Tennessee will be out. I walked off the golf course. I was playing so bad. I left on the 13th hole at Oakmarsh. I just left. And it's like, it's playing around a golf is different than getting beat up and having collisions that are like 2 cars smashing. You're already beat. You got aches and pains and bumps and bruises. It's like they would just rather go. It doesn't make them bad people either. Most of them would rather not play.
It's hard to half-ass it when you're playing a football game, obviously. You can't just go out there and go through the motions. It's really difficult. And I do think there are X number of players, just talk about in the Vikings, who are playing for contracts, playing for 2 more times to try to impress the Ty Feltons of the world. I mean, even Addison, and he had the drops last week. I mean, there are a lot of guys that are have an opportunity that want to press, if not the Vikings, other teams who are looking to fill their rosters. So obviously Max Brosmer wants to play well. I mean, it's there's such a dearth of backup quarterbacks in this league right now. It's stunning, honestly, when you look at the frontline quarterbacks that roam the NFL and rule the NFL. Then you look at many of their backups, and you just kind of, starting with the guy who had to come in who played last night, when you look at 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. But so I don't know. I mean, I think that generally speaking, at this point, they're gonna. I don't think it matters once the game's over. They're not gonna hang their heads.
Especially, let's say your 2 teams going nowhere. Let's just say, for instance, weather was, you're going to play an outdoor game like in Philadelphia. You're worse than playing in Philadelphia, and it's going to be 0 degrees. Don't tell me they want to play the game. Some might do, some are nuts, but it doesn't make them bad people.
No, it doesn't.
I don't even know why we're discussing it.
I don't know.
Here's someone who gives it everything he's got, no matter what he's doing, and that would be my firstborn. It's Deuce. Up early this morning, working from home. You should have saw him grinding it out. And then how about your brother giving you a hard time?
I'm just sitting there down by the fireplace trying to warm myself on the chilly Minnesota morning. And he walks by and he goes, "Be sure you're working there, big dog. Get to work there, brother."
Yeah.
It's like, well, I know that. You don't need to tell me that.
And then
I don't know why he's got to give me a hard time.
And then you were getting ready to go out to run, and what did he say? He goes, "Not time to run. You need to work."
Yeah, it ain't run time. It's work time, Bubba. He calls me Bubba.
Yeah, he calls you Bubba. Well, you call him Dork.
Well, and I call him loser too, but that's just the truth. I can't lie.
Yeah,
he's a loser.
That's true. Good to have you on the air. Mark Rosen is here, so is 10 to be. Let's get to it. It's time now for
Spread Swing.
All four of us in the black going into last week. I was in the lead with 77. Common right back behind me at 68.5. Rosen, of course, made that big jump. He got to 42.5, and Deuce in fourth place with 19.5. Deuce, a couple small victories for you last week. You had the purple minus 2.5 against the New York Giants. They won by 3, so you gained half a point there. You also had Carolina plus 3 against Tampa Bay, and they won by 3, so you gained 6 there. So you improved. You're up to 26 points.
Almost a record-setting day for you. I know you've had 1 or 2 better, but that's a really good day.
That's 6.5 points is
a good day for you.
Career high for Deuce.
Quality.
Objects in Rosen's mirror are closer than they appear because Rosen came back to you a little bit after his great week in week 15.
Well.
He had Baltimore minus 3 against New England. The Patriots won that one by 4, so Rosie lost 7 there. Mm-hmm. And then you and Common had the great Rams-Seahawks debate where you both went head-to-head against each other. Yep. Looked like you were golden for a while. You had the Rams plus 1 in that one.
Yep.
And they end up losing 38-37 in overtime. So they lost by a point, which means you got 0.
0 for
in that one.
All right.
So I was going to say, old Sam Darnold went from nightmares to a dream come true.
Wasn't seeing ghosts in that one.
Nope.
So Rosen, you dropped down to 35.5 points. You're just 9.5 ahead of Deuce. Common, you had the opposite side of that Seattle Rams game, which means you got 0 on that one as well.
But I got bragging rights.
And then your Detroit Lions fell apart like a cheap suit at Detroit. Minus 7 you had them. They lost by 5 to Pittsburgh. So you lost 12 points. You moved back to 56.5.
I'm in trouble.
And then I had a couple smaller victories. I had Philadelphia minus 6.5 against Washington. They won by 11, so I gained 4.5 there. And then speaking of great comebacks to save me in spread swing, I had the Chicago Bears plus 1, and they end up winning by 6 in overtime. So I gained 7 on that one. So I'm in the lead with 88.5. Common, you're in second with 56.5. Rosen in third with 35.5. And Deuce in fourth with 26 points.
Now, let me do this, but let's do this, get this one out of the way. I'll talk about how I'll whine a little bit about having to take the lines. You say, and then you go, I would have taken the lines.
I would take them this week.
No, last week. Yeah, I would have taken them. That's what Tennessee says every time I complain about the lines. I would have taken them.
I do like the lines this week.
Well, yeah, lots of reasons, I guess.
So the order,
doubters.
The order is going to be
Max Rosemer's
This
show.
Isn't a short week. It's a fast opportunity.
I like that.
Yeah. Sure you do.
So we're going to go Deuce, Rosen, Common, and Tenna.
Spread swing.
Well, when Tenna was sending the list over, he left off one of the most interesting games of the week in my mind. The Green Bay Packers will travel to Baltimore. I believe that one's in Baltimore anyways. They'll play.
That's in Green Bay, I think.
Can someone confirm? Is that
it's in Green Bay.
Is that at Curly?
Yes,
it is.
Green
Bay?
What?
Oh,
I think so.
I thought it was.
Well, either way,
check.
I like the Baltimore Ravens in this matchup. I think
It's at
Jay
Green Bay.
Love. Sorry, say again?
No, it's at Green Bay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, at Green Bay. Well, I like the Ravens in this matchup, and I'm drinking the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid, even though the Detroit playoff odds, they're only a little bit lower than Rosie's sinker sale percentage hit rate, and
let's
they're
get personal.
Higher, and they're a bit higher than the odds of
So proud of
me
you.
winning
Thanks
the
for watching,
Powerball
though, man.
jackpot.
Yeah,
I'm clinging on to the hope, and I think the Ravens are going to go into Lambeau Field and get the victory. I think Malik Willis will probably end up starting because Jay Love took a big hit, and I think he's got a concussion. I think Malik will struggle. He's probably only started about 6-7 games. in his career.
Lamar's
I think
out
Lamar's going to have a nice
Well, I
day.
thought Lamar
he may not play.
Lamar might not play, dude.
He left last year.
Lamar might not play. Lamar's a tough guy. He'll play. I guess I'm not paying as close attention to Baltimore Ravens football as I once did.
That's for sure.
But I think Lamar's going to stick it out, and I think the Baltimore Ravens are going to win the game. And I'm delusional because Detroit needs a Packer loss. So I'll take Baltimore plus 2.5 at Curly.
Also, Jordan Love still in concussion protocol, but did practice in a limited capacity today. So
that's all right.
Okay. Spread swing.
The doctor examining him is probably a partial owner. He's got his ownership certificate.
It's a must-win game for him. He'll find a way to play.
Well, Common, you were just talking about teams kind of mailing it in and looking for next year, and guys who got their golf clubs packed, et cetera, you know, the old cliches. And I think one of those teams, clearly the Arizona Cardinals, they lost 7 in a row. Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback. They're going up against now a red-hot resurgent Joe Burrow, I think, who's trying to prove that he is one of the elite quarterbacks in the league. And the Bengals, how Burrow goes, so do the Bengals. And they're playing in Cincinnati, 7-point favorites. Arizona's going, just get this thing over with. So I can't double down, but I will take Cincinnati -7.
You sniped me.
Did
That's
I?
my top choice today.
Wow, I feel good about that. Okay, I'll take the Bungles. Joe Burrow to bury the Cardinals on Sunday afternoon.
Cardinals have averaged 34.7 points against during their 7-game losing streak.
Awful right now. Yeah, and Burrow's hot. Yep.
Spread swing.
I guess I've been doing it for years now. No reason to stop now. And yeah, I mean, I think they're also a team, despite the fact they have like a 6% chance, or is it 4% chance of making the playoffs. Deuce spelled it out. They need to win 2 and watch Green Bay lose 2. Which I think Green Bay is going to win this week, and then they'll win next week as well. But I think Detroit's another of those teams. If you went to each player and said, what's it going to give you the next 2 weeks off? What do you think everyone would say? You don't have to ask me a second time.
They're coming so close the last 2 years.
So I think they would all just head out there. And I'm not saying they're going to mail it in. I mean, once you're out playing the game, you play the game. But I'm just suggesting if they have the choice to play the string out when you're not going to make postseason play or continue to play, I think the vast majority of the players would say, I'm out. But they're not. They'll be there. And yeah, I suppose with especially with Brosmer, it looks like Brosmer is going to start. Well, he is. He's going to start. So, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a great game by any stretch of the imagination. I still think the Vikings might. They should be. I don't know with defensive players injured. I mean, I suppose that Detroit could go in with an attitude that we really want to win, but I think it'll be a close game. But Detroit probably will win the game. I'll go with that. So, no, it doesn't really matter either way for either club. As a matter of fact, if you are a fan of either team and you care about draft position, you want your team to win.
Well, it's not just draft position. The Vikings lose this game, they'll get a 4th place schedule.
And the schedule, too.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Horse have been restored.
So I'll take the Kitties.
Spread swing.
Very disappointed Rosen took the Bengals away from me. That was my clear-cut top choice in this one. I don't like a lot of the games this week. But Vikings-Lions aren't the only game being played on Christmas. There's 3 games on that day. Dallas is favored by 7 at Washington. And I wouldn't call it a short week. I'd call it a fast opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys in this one. Dallas's offense is good. Washington's defense is bad. So Dallas's offense should put up a lot of points here. On the other side of the ball, Washington already shut down Jaden Daniels for the year, and it sounds like Marcus Mariota might not go in this one because he hurt his throwing hand in the last games. That means something called Josh Johnson could get the start for Washington. So if there's one team that could run up the score here, especially now that the pressure's off for him a little bit, I think it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm going to take Dallas. How about them Cowboys? I'm going to take Dallas -7 at Washington.
Spread swing.
I had another game that.
That's on Deuce.
Oh, I'm sorry, Deuce.
Yeah, Deuce is first.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Go ahead, Deuce.
Well, this one may cause a little tension within the Cole household.
Come on.
I'm a Kitties fan. My dad's converted me. But it's whiteout week in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings are used to playing in these whiteout environments. It's a yearly tradition now. And I just Googled it, and Grok AI tells me, yes, a whiteout stadium can affect athletes' ability to see well by reducing contrast sensitivity and potentially causing glare, making it more challenging to track the ball and other players. Clearly, this provides a huge advantage for the Minnesota Vikings, and I feel like if the Detroit Lions continue to play defense the way they have in recent contests, we're so banged up.
You mean that Swiss cheese defense that we're known for?
Yeah, I think we're going to implement our Swiss cheese defense, and I think J.J. McCarthy could see
JJ's not playing.
Could continue his resurgence.
He's not playing.
He's not going to play.
You pay less attention than I do. It was just a knot we've been talking.
He's picked two teams in which he doesn't know the quarterback that's playing.
Yeah, but McCarthy was ruled out.
Excuse me for having a day job. I think that Bros is going to come in and lead the Vikings to a victory. I just have no faith in my Kitties. Give me the Minnesota Vikings plus 6.5.
Wow.
No wonder you're in last place.
Spread swing.
Let me guess, you think Fran Tarkington's going to be the backup?
I like Joe Kapp as the backup, actually.
You know, some people could call this a potential Super Bowl matchup. There's plenty of them out there, of course.
Which game could you be talking about?
But they're at home, and I think Buffalo has something to play for still. And I think the Eagles, they clinched the division, but they may have a bit of a letdown. I just think the Bills, and it'll be a potential shootout, but I don't want to take. I think the other game I was going to take is New Orleans to beat the crap out of Tennessee, but who cares about that game? I don't even care about watching or even hearing about it. So I'll go with a game that's got a lot more glamour and glitz to it. I'll take the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. -2 at home.
Spread swing.
I like Chicago at San Francisco. I think the Bears are the best team in pro football. I think the Bears are going to win the big game. I think Caleb Williams is going to be the next, not the same stop, but I'm just saying the next Pat Mahomes. He's going to be the next great quarterback in this league. The kid, I think he has, he's got all the traits that you look for. I know the first half against Green Bay was awful. Guess what he did in the second half? He was brilliant, and so I know San Francisco playing well. They beat Phil Rivers last night, etc. But I like the Bears, and I get 3.5 points. I'll take Chicago. Mostly just because I want them to win.
Chicago's a tough guy town.
Yeah.
But Chicago's my club.
Love those Bears.
Spread swing.
We're at the time of the season where I got to play a little strategy because I was going to go with the San Francisco 49ers -3.5. But I don't know if I can afford a double loss at this stage of the season if it went awry for me. So I'm going to pivot.
You're pivoting?
I'm going to pivot. I'm going to go to the Chargers-Houston Texans game where the Superchargers are favored by 2.5 points at home. But, the Houston Texans, all they do is win. They've won 7 in a row. They got the best defense in football. And the Chargers have both of their tackles on IR for the rest of the year.
Oh, boy.
And one thing Houston can do is they can rush the passer from the edge with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. So I think they are going to be getting to Justin Herbert all day long, and I'm going to be getting 2.5 points on it. So I'll take Houston plus 2.5 on the road at L.A.
And there we go.
That's it.
That's pressing. Deuce, your theory about the whiteout and the glare, the Vikings are playing in that same stadium.
Well, it seems like our Vikings.
They've experienced a whiteout stadium more often than Detroit has. I think they'll be more adept at playing in such conditions. That's also this whole analysis that I'm doing is just it's next level. I wouldn't expect you to understand.
It is next level.
One email or text message says Deuce has officially tuned out. So, Deuce, I'll see you at home. You're going to be home?
Yeah. Well, maybe not, depending on when you get home and when I leave for Lakeville North versus Eastview on the Game Time Minnesota Media.
All right.
Wow. So what time will that be? 7 o'clock?
Yeah, that's 7 o'clock. It should be a fun little night of hockey. We had a great game last week. Unfortunately, Lakeville North came up short against crosstown rivals Lakeville South, but should bounce back tonight. It should be exciting.
I'll be listening. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon. Drive carefully out there and back, please.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Take care, Deuce.
There's
Merry
Deuce.
Christmas.
There's Mark Rosen, Common and Tennessee. Let's take a short break. Actually, it's a long opportunity. We'll do that next. Common Man program on the Fan.